Clash fans, Trample Damage coming in today to answer the question, what would the Town Hall 15 meta look like if you could only use Rage spells and Poison spells? That's right, no haste spells to get your balloons zipping around the base with your Lalo, no invisibility spells to help protect the Super Archers or the Super Wizards, no freeze spells to save your queen from a single target tower, no Earthquake spells to help crack open some walls, no recall spells to well, nobody's using the recall spell anyway, but you get the point. We ended up doing an event here that was a friendly war. It was 35v35 that we called Rage in the New Year. It was a play on Ring in the New Year. I had to explain that to a few people. I thought it would be obvious. Anyway, so what we decided was everybody was going to divide up. We wanted to balance things on Town Hall, so we had Town Hall 15s, 14s, 13s, 12s, and 11 on each side, and we only had two rules. One was you had to attack your own Town Hall level, so we weren't going to see people like curb stomping Town Hall 12s with Town Hall 14s, and you had to use at least no spells other than Rage and Poison. So I want to walk through some of the Town Hall 15 hits, which were particularly exciting, and then we're going to also wind up making another video on probably some of the Town Hall 14, 13, 12, 11 content, but we're going to start with some of the Town Hall 15 attacks that were pretty cool. Now, if you think about traditionally, Rage spells are great for balloons, they're great for any of the defense targeting troops, they're great for queen walks, they're also good for air attacks like dragons and dragon riders and electro dragons. However, all these attacks tend to rely on some of the other spells that we have in our arsenals. So we're going to start with one attack here that was made by 817, which actually so a couple of people joined very late into the war, and one of them, I'm just calling him Smiles because this is his. I'm going to jump back out of here for a second. His other base is this Smiles, and he also has 817. So we're going to go ahead and show this. The attack here, like many of the attacks we saw in this war, use an air army because, you don't need to rely on the jump spells and the earthquake spells to be able to help support the ground armies the way that you might need to. With an air attack, you can really just continue raging through, but Smiles decided to start this off with a queen walk, which unfortunately the queen was being slightly less obedient than we would have preferred her to be, and she did take a walk around the outside here. She eventually comes back in to go for the scatter shot, but she does set up some nice pathing over here for the dragons and the dragon riders and the balloons. Now at this point, the archer queen comes back inside to get the scatter shot, and we are going to go ahead and just continually rage through here. We're going to use the Grand Warden's Eternal Tome to protect the blimp on its way to the town hall. Now, unlike a regular attack where you could use a free spell to maybe slow the town hall down, we didn't have that, but we did pop the blimp, a couple of yetis, and we managed to get some sneaky goblins to take down the town hall. The archer queen dealing with a little bit of poison over here, but manages to stay up, and those dragons and dragon riders just do an absolute great job of clearing out this side of the base. We see the royal champion wind up coming in, and they're able to essentially just power through, and then the royal champion and the archer queen are able to wind up cleaning up the rest of the base along with some help from the barbarian king. Now, this is something that I kind of expected to see some version of the Hydra attack, possibly with a queen charge or just very mass rage on the Hydra portion. And this was actually the first Town Hall 15 3-star that we ended up seeing in the war. I thought it was really cool. I got to watch this one live, and I was thinking, okay, this is cool. We're going to see some pretty awesome stuff. Some of the other stuff, we did see a lot of E-Dragon attacks. We didn't have any triples that were completed using Electro Dragons. We did have some that came pretty close. One of the attacks I also want to share. Oh, I am. So this was one of the attacks that didn't count. Here was our Rage and Poison only attack from Cheetah, which is Cheetah. Cheetah. In this attack, we have freeze spells and skeleton spells and jump spells, and so we ended up having to issue some kind of penalty here. Again, like I said, the point of this war was to just really stretch ourselves and try to do something a little bit different, limiting ourselves to the rage spells and the poison spells. Now, we did have one that was really cool that came in from Battle Dad that was an absolute just pure time fail. Similar type of army and a similar type of approach, but what we ended up doing here was, we do start with the Barbarian King and Frosty hanging out on him, start funneling a little bit at the top, Archer Queen coming in down here, and we are going to wind up engaging the Queen charge for the Archer Queen on our way into what would essentially be a Dragonless Hydra attack because we're just running Electro Dragons and Balloons, which I believe came in from this side over here. But since I don't remember, we're just going to go ahead and watch through this as the queen takes out the rocket balloons and the electro titans. Now, the queen has already used up a couple of rage spells on her queen charge, but she is doing a nice job of cleaning out this side of the base. Royal Champion does come in to engage the Eagle Artillery, and then here come Dragon Riders and balloons. And it's these storages up here at the top, these two, that end up being the issue for us. But the blimp again into the town hall, rage spell for the balloons, they all go down to the Giga Blast. The queen winds up having to duke it out over here with the Barbarian King, but she manages to take him down and survive some of these defenses. She basically makes it all the way to the end of the attack. Now, normally, oh, I fast forwarded too much. Normally, the Archer Queen, a free spell would have been great there to get the single target Inferno Tower off of her. However, she still had her ability and was able to power that out. And unfortunately, we did fall short. If those last two archers had been deployed up here, it's entirely possible that the attack could have actually ended up turning into a triple, but alas, it did not. We ended up falling so, so short. We had the last building. This is one of those, we all say, like, oh man, if I only had like 4 more seconds or 3 more seconds, we would have had another attack. But Battle Dad actually had some really awesome attacks with his Town Hall 14 and his Town Hall 13 as well in this war. Let's see, we've got some attacks. Oh, so this is one I was really excited to see. So Dipsiety is the mini account of Carl from the Crystal to Join clan, and Carl and C Note run a podcast, the Crystal to Join podcast. And we did have Carl over, even though his main account was over in Crystal to Join as a part of a memorial war to honor Hero Killa, who was another podcaster with the Wizard of Wu on the only Clash podcast. And unfortunately, we were saddened to hear that Hero had passed away in a car accident just the prior weekend. And we had a Memorial War as a 50v50 that was a regular spin but turned into a friendly challenge because a bunch of other people got together and spun at the exact same time that we did in Crystal to Join. And it was a really nice event. But Carl did bring his mini Town Hall 15 over here, and he's doing a Lalo with no freeze and no haste spells, which are usually very key components to a Lalo. And what he ended up doing was starting, you could see over here, a Flame Flinger to get the Town Hall, and he did start with a Queen Walk on the bottom side here. Tried to get the Eagle Artillery down with a couple of rocket balloons, but we did not get that to go down. However, with the Flame Flinger taking care of the Town Hall, and the Archer Queen over here along with the Barbarian King, we trigger the Clan Castle troops, continue powering through, still sitting on 5 of the rage spells at this point, with a decent amount of the base taken down, when we do see what I thought was a really cool idea is the Ice Hound. Because, and this is sort of the idea that I had for some of my attacks, using troops that have secondary spell effects like the Ice Hound popping and creating a freeze effect, actually feel like it would be a very good thing to try, which we can see here as the Flame Flinger finally gets the Town Hall down. We have a bunch of balloons still up and running, plenty of haste, sort of haste-like activity by raging all of those balloons through here, and of course getting all that extra damage, and the balloons manage to take down all those key defenses in the center. The Royal Champion is still up along with a couple of minions making their way around to clean up on the outside, and Carl ended up delivering a triple. Now the cool thing about this triple, we were coming down to the wire, and my team, I actually had bases on both sides, but at the moment I still have my Town Hall 12 attacks left. I had both of my Town Hall 12 attacks. Carl had both of his Dipsiety attacks for Town Hall 15, and we were down 1 on the team that had my Town Hall 12, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to triple both of these, which I did, but Carl ended up also tripling. His first attack came really close, and I was watching that like, oh man, I thought he was going to wind up, sort of putting this thing out of reach for me, because his first attack, where do we go? Dipsiety. Am I looking on the wrong side? There he is, Dipsiety. His first attack, he had a 91%. It was a very similar army, and he was essentially trying the same thing. Some sneaky goblins down here at the bottom to get in toward the Town Hall, taking out the Town Hall, and then take out the Town Hall. Take out the Town Hall, and then we bring in the Yeti and the heroes on the bottom right-hand side, taking care of the Clan Castle troops with, of course, our legal poison spells. So we took those out and went ahead and brought in a Stone Slammer along with just a ton of balloons. I was watching this attack live as the war was about to end, and I was like, oh man, this actually looks really good. Like, this could make it. And then I saw the single target tower in the center, and I thought, ooh, I don't think he's going to be able to get that down. And what I was thinking was, fortunately, confidently, figuring we were going to wind up being able to win, even though, again, I had bases on both teams. Carl ended up coming really close on that one, and then he came in and delivered that really awesome triple. And I thought it was a really fitting way to end the war because you could see here, this was at the end. Where's he at? Carl. What happened? Oh, there it is. It's this one, Dipsiety. I was looking on the side with Damien. We were coming down to the end there, and in the last 15 minutes, this is the one here that we just looked at with Carl attacking Fighter, and then the last three attacks. So at that point, we were down one, and I thought, I'm going to triple both of these with my Town Hall 12. And then Carl delivered the triple, so that even though I managed to 3-star Mr. B, who is the leader of one of the biggest and most impressive clan families I've seen, the WSA, the We Stay Active family. Major kudos. I appreciate Mr. B getting some folks to join over here. But this is just some interesting food for thought. I really wanted to share this with you guys. I am going to do a couple other videos showcasing some of the other town hall levels. I think that the really cool thing that we learned about this war, that we learned from this war rather, is how many different types of attacks you can do, and even with some of the limitations. And I think it's also a testament to how well balanced some of these spells and troops are, that we can actually go in without some of the normal spells we would wind up seeing and still manage to pull off some of these really awesome triples or very, very high damage 2-stars. Now, a big shout out to everybody who ended up participating. We had people from, like I said, the We Stay Active family, from Crystal to Join. We had people from the Clash Files family in here. Obviously, some people from the Good Guys family, people that just randomly joined from Reddit, people that are just random TikTok fans and YouTube fans that I have. So big shout out to everybody for joining. We are going to be doing next month, the February special event war is going to be All You Need Is Love, where we're going to see what we can do using only heal spells and haste spells. If you are interested in joining one of those, of course, check out my Discord, because you'll be able to find the sign up sheets on there. And since I almost always forget to promote myself, check out my social media, my TikTok content, my YouTube content. Of course, subscribe here. I don't have as many subscribers here as I have followers on YouTube, but I always do appreciate the support. And make sure to check back for other attacks from this war, showing off some of the great rage and poison only spell attacks. And we will check you guys out on the next video.